Alrighty. So the main difference between scenario 200 and scenario 100 was the ability to change price of our three different beers. So working with like price elasticity and how changing the price will change our demand and our sales as well. So one of the main things we found when we were trying to work with this and figure out how we could successfully hit our goal was that price elasticity, like changing the price, also has a huge impact on like demand and how many production orders you're gonna have, and how much beer you're gonna sell in the end. So we found that like increasing your price and decreasing demand can be like a really good way to kind of control your sales. So like in the summer, obviously Alley Cat sells a ton. So a good way to like kind of keep that under control is to raise the price so the demand is not quite as high as it usually would be if the price was lower. So that was kind of like the main thing that we found to be the difference between scenario 200 and scenario 100, just by messing around with the price and stuff. But yeah.
And so, like, what you're saying is just like we affect the price so that demand goes down a little bit so that we can keep up with the orders that we need.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I get what you're saying. I can start screen sharing my spreadsheet, and we can go into it.
All right, cool.
Figure it out real quick. Sorry. All right, you guys can see it. Okay. So to go into my spreadsheet, for Taj Mahal, I left the price pretty much the same up until October, November, December. And that way I adjusted the price so that our ending inventory for December was as little as possible for this, because like obviously the simulation ends in December and we wanted to sell as much of it as possible. And I wanted to also increase our Edgar Ale sales so we could produce a little bit more of that. And then that was just for December. I did that, so it was about 30 cents higher than October, November at 16.50. And that just decreased the demand a little bit. That way we can produce a little bit more Edgar Ale, because that's our winter ale, obviously. And then for Alley Cat, I decreased the price January, February, as well as October and November, because we don't sell a lot of it in the winter months. It doesn't happen. So if we can decrease the price a little bit, maybe sell just a little bit more, it'll increase our profit margin a little bit. Then March, we're right back to normal at 15.50, and that's when we really ramp up production. We have had production ramped up since January, February. We go back down to right around 5,000 cases in March, 5,000 all the way through June into July, where we raise it up just a little bit because that's where our highest demand is. And in the summer months of April, May, June, July, and August, we increased the price by $1.50 April through July, and then $2 in August. And that's just to simply decrease the demand so that we can keep the customer needs within what we have for production, our capacity. And that way we just total no lost sales and maximize our profit as best as possible. December, I raised it up to 16 because we just lowered the production. We don't need as much of it in the winter. And that way we also can make just a little bit more Edgar Ale. And Edgar Ale didn't affect the price too much. Raised the prices January, February. And then pretty much just kept it right around 14.50 the rest of the year. But it came out to a total of our EBT before taxes, 212,000. So we just hit our goal. And I actually am looking for a little bit more improvement in that, because I don't like being as close to our deadline, or not our deadline, our target profit range as I am right now. So if you guys have anything else that I could add to this as I'm looking to it, or you see something that is in yours that's not in mine, so that we can increase our profit range, I am all ears.
I'll pull that up real quick.
Okay.
My final EBT was like $300 more than yours, so I don't think there's really any difference there.
Yeah, so we're right around
Yeah,
where we
it's,
would have been anyways.
yeah. It was a little bit of a struggle to get it. It wasn't a struggle to get it to 210, but I mean, you kind of had to figure it out a little bit before you could really get
It
the
was
price.
a lot of trial and error.
No,
It
yeah,
was
100%. It was easy to
I
get
sat
it
here.
high
Go ahead.
hundreds, but getting it over 200 took a second. But
Yeah, I sat here probably about 2 or 3 hours just playing with it, just trying to figure out the pricing range and what everything meant, like the elasticity and everything.
Yeah, and then how pricing affects how much you need to produce was
Yeah,
like
no,
kind
that
of
was
second, but yeah.
going into it. I didn't even think about like how pricing affects how much I need to produce. I just thought
Oh,
we
yeah.
keep the production the same, adjust the prices, and we'll
Just
get it. And
adjust the price.
I was completely wrong with that. It was
Yeah, yeah, that was
but
not correct, but you got to
you
figure it
see
out.
an alley cat, if you can still see my screen.
Yeah,
In July, June, May, and April were our highest gross profits, and that was also that, but it wasn't like our highest margin.
no, yeah, because that was August, but
Yeah, and it was, and
yeah,
then August we raised the price just a little bit more, and we didn't make as much money. So
yeah,
it's kind of just we had to find that sweet spot of
yeah, exactly.
like for Alley Cat in the summer months, $17 was perfect. That just ended
Yeah,
up working out perfect. It fit our production needs,
yeah,
and we have no lost sales now. We can maximize profit.
exactly. So yeah, that's pretty good. Um, what else? Is there anything else we need to cover?
Uh, I think just these
Oh, it's in
monthly expenses, they're all the same, which was made it really easy. But we had these blue columns is just affecting our price. Yellow was our average price, or I don't lack of a better word, average price for 1450, and then our cost up here, and then these blue were the adjustable columns that we could adjust the price for every month, we adjust the production for every month as we did in the last spreadsheet. And I believe that covers almost everything.
Yeah, so do we want to put some production orders in just to finish off?
Yeah, I'll keep screen sharing while I do that.
All right,
Wrong one. So we go production, create production orders. So for our first, if we go back to the spreadsheet and we look at our first month, let's go first month, first 28 days.
Mm-hmm.
We have Taj Mahal sitting at around 3,000 cases. Alley Cat, we have double that, and then Edgar Ale, we have just under 2,000.
Yeah.
And so looking at it, I think we go 2 Alley Cats for each of the first 2 periods. So we'll go 2 and 2, just bump that up.
Yep.
And then I think we go Taj Mahal and Edgar Ale, just go 1 and 1.
Yep.
Unless we want to go 3 Alley Cats for each, and then go
One of each.
one of each, or we can go 3 on the first period of Alley Cat, and then go 1 of Taj Mahal, and then go 2 Alley Cat, and then 1 and 1.
I think we should do that.
Go 3 on the first one, and then
And then do 2 with 1 and 1.
okay, yeah, we can do that. So we will. I feel like it's been forever since I've done this. Okay. Then I think we'll go Edgar just because it's a winter month.
Yep.
And then the next 2 weeks we'll go 2 Alley Cats, 1 Edgar, 1 Taj Mahal.
Yeah.
So that way, yeah, now we're all set here. I think that's all we had to cover, right? I think that's all we need. We're set up for Wednesday.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
All right.
Ready? Nice and easy.
Thanks for coming on. Yeah.
Cool.